Hi Year 3, hope you're all okay. Here is our spelling lesson for today. So, our what is to know the rule for adding the prefixes il, ir, in and im to a root word, how new learning is practiced and why, so that we can complete the spelling bubbles. Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do is just have a look at these words. So these are the root words that we are going to be using for this lesson. So what I want you to go at is think about, what do these words mean? Okay, so what I'd like you to do is pause now so that you can think about these words, and when you think you know what they mean, then obviously unpause the video. Okay, so hopefully these are the meanings for these words. So relevant is directly related to or connected to. Appropriate is something is correct or right for its purpose. Dependent means that relies upon someone else or something else. Correct is true or accurate or right. Legal is allowed to do something by law. Mature is fully grown or adult, either physically or attitude and behavior. Possible is able to be done, able to happen or exist. Or perfect is being entirely without fault or flaw, so it's just right. Okay, so now we have those definitions, we will move on to the next slide. So rewinding back to prefixes, we know that a prefix is a group of letters that are added to the start of a root word to change the meaning of the word, which is why we went through the definitions of the word, because we know by adding those prefixes that we are going to change the meaning of the word. So those prefixes, so in, im, il, and prefixes are a group of prefixes that all mean not or the opposite of. So the prefix that we use depends on the first letter of the root word. So it depends upon that first letter of that original word. So obviously we know that the new meaning of the word for when we add our prefix is going to mean the opposite of what they do now. So it's going to mean not. Okay, so let's have a look. So this group of prefixes all mean the not or the opposite of. So what will these words now mean if that prefix is added? So thinking about legal, what is the opposite of legal? Okay, what is the opposite of mature? What is the opposite of relevant? What is the opposite of correct? What is the opposite of possible? What is the opposite of perfect? What is the opposite of appropriate? And what is the opposite of dependent? Okay, so just give you a little while to think about those, think about the opposite, and here they are to see if you are right. So I'm not going to read those for you. You can pause the video if you want to read those opposite definitions. Okay, so it said that the rule depended upon the first letter of that word. So, for example, if you are adding IR, that's your prefix, you add that to root words that begin with an R. For example, reversible becomes irreversible. If you are adding the prefix IM to a word, you add it to a root word if it begins with M or P. For example, mature is immature, possible is impossible. Okay. If you are adding IL, you add that when the root word begins with the letter L. For example, legal becomes illegal. If you are adding IN, you add that if the root word begins with any other letter. So for example, capable is incapable, efficient is inefficient, and adequate is inadequate. Okay, so that is the rule. I'm just going to leave that there paused for you so that you can just have a little look at that. I will also put a copy of this on Dojo so that you have this when you're not watching the video, if you want to use that to help. Okay, so now that we've got that, we are going to have a look at our activity. So we've been given the rule, okay? We have our root words, so the words that we are starting with, and we are going to use it. So what activity I would like you to do is to draw some bubble maps. So I'd like you to draw 4 bubble maps, one for each, one for IR, one for IM, one for IL, and one for IN. Okay, you're going to select the root word, so for example, legal. You are going to add the correct prefix, okay, and then you're going to write the new word on the correct bubble. Okay, so what I would like us to do is the first one together. So I'm going to pick legal. So I'm just going to change sharing my screen for you so that I can show you the whiteboard that I'm going to do it on. So just bear with me a minute. Okay, so hopefully you can see my whiteboard now. So I am going to create those bubble maps for those 4. So here's 1, here's 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to write ill in 1, and okay. So my first word was legal. Okay, so I am going to have a look at my golden rules. Okay, and I'm going to say legal begins with an L. So I know that I would add IL to the start of my word, which now makes my new word illegal. So then I would find the correct bubble map and I would add that word. Okay, so if I was going to do the next one, I would do mature. I would then see which rule fits my mature, and then I would add it to the correct bubble map. Okay, so that is your new activity. So that is what you are going to do. Okay, so I am going to put the rule on Dojo, like I said, and I will also put the root words on Dojo so that you have those. And what I would like you to do is to create your bubble maps with our new words, so the ones with the prefix added. Okay, what I would really like you to do is to share all of this on the portfolio part of Class Dojo. I look forward to seeing them all come in, and I will see you soon. Okay, Year 3, see you soon. Bye.